Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the Francois Podcast.
Good evening, all our listeners and friends and all that. Pardon me, my voice is kind of gone. It went away like last night, but I'm still here doing my thing.
Yes, you heard it. We are actually sick. Sadly, but true. But don't matter. The show must go on. Actually, I sounded worse than him earlier this week. Thank goodness I got a little bit more back. I sounded like, I don't know what I sounded like, baby, but it was horrible. I actually was home most of the week and I was just literally suffering. So if you could kind of hear something in my voice as well, I'm a lot better than I would sounded way before.
I sound like Nas. The world is yours. The world is yours.
Poor baby, you sound horrible, but you sound cute though. Just like how you told me the other day. You was like, I actually like that voice.
Oh no, you did. Your voice was.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
See, you don't even be remembering. You don't be paying attention to your wife.
It was a busy week.
It was a busy week. Oh man, like I was coughing, I'm wheezing, I'm sneezing. It was a lot going on. I literally was on the couch suffering. I was gonna say dying, but he doesn't like that word. So I was suffering, literally coughing out all of my lungs. The doctor prescribed me a cough medicine, and that cough medicine, I don't know what it was water, because it didn't do anything for me. Till I went back to the pharmacist and was like, look, you gotta give me something stronger, because this is just not gonna work. And now this guy over here, who says he's not sick, it's just his voice is gone, but I hear him coughing. I don't know. What are you?
I ain't got no voice.
That's it? You're not sick?
I mean, I could be getting sick. But
Yo, what is up with you men who just don't want to, like, I really offered him. I was like, listen, you got to just take something because I'm sick and I don't want you feeling sick.
I'm sick.
Whatever. You were coughing a couple of days ago and
hold up.
Every time I caught you coughing, no, I don't want this. I don't want that. I'm like, just take
something.
something.
My voice is gone because of last night.
Right. Okay.
But you know that, though. So
I actually know
that
that you've
happened several times before.
Right. All right, Nas. Anyway, how was your week, baby?
I'll be Nas. My favorite rapper of all time.
You don't want to admit that you're sick? Just say that you're sick. Just say it. What harm will it do if you just admit?
Harm? I didn't believe I had a slight cough. I didn't see myself as being
sick. For days in a row. And I'm like, baby, just take this medicine, this cough medicine.
I ain't need it. Like, I've had heavy coughs before. And
then you said this morning that your throat was hurting.
This morning, yeah. Today was different than I felt all the other days.
So you're not sick. What is it with you men not copping to just being sick? Just take some medicine.
I've admitted to being sick all the time, and you know that.
Whatever. Seriously.
You know that, though.
I can't. Anyway, so pray for us to get better. We hear that there's this flu going around. We don't have it.
Where you hear that?
Yeah, there's a flu going around. You didn't hear? You're not up on the street news?
Chill, yo.
Seriously, there is. Hearing that people are passing away because of it.
What the hell?
Yeah.
Where? What city is this so I can stay away?
Connecticut.
All right, we good.
I'm so sick of you. Okay, but please be safe. Get your flu shots. Actually, I have never gotten my shot.
I don't know about that flu shot. I don't know about that flu shot.
You don't know?
I've heard. I don't know.
Heard bad things. They inject you with pretty much a decoy or a duplicate or what is
basically,
it?
Yeah.
If your body can fight it off.
But you could. I've heard a lot of negative things about the flu shot. I don't know how I feel.
Well,
I
haven't had mine in years. My mother was so diligent in taking us to the doctors every year prior to school starting.
I don't think I ever got a flu shot in my life.
Really?
For real. I remember even when I got the records, they was hitting me up about that. I just never did it.
You just never did it? I think I've gotten it when I was, I don't know if I...
Grace of God, I don't be sick like that. I really don't. I really don't be sick like that. Like I'm for the most, I really take care of myself for the most part. I really don't get sick like that. The worst that happen in the wintertime is like a cough or my nose will get stuffed up. And then that'll be it. It'll go away and then I'm back to normal.
Right. Okay. And so
Why you
basically,
saying right like that? Like what I'm saying ain't true.
okay, you don't be sick like that. You really don't. And it's very true that your immune system is like very, very strong, just like your liver is really, really strong.
What's that supposed to mean?
I'm just saying. I just feel as though that when you do get sick and you notice it, you don't take care of yourself.
I do. What you
do
mean?
not. You don't take medication, sweetheart.
Man,
You do not.
We
You
do
just
natural medication.
you
They
just
trying to
live with
drug
it
us.
and just daily just try to drink. I mean, you do drink like chicken noodle soup and tea,
but then I be right. Then I'm better. So I don't know what the problem is.
This is the problem because it could be done in 1 or 2 days, and you're like still coughing and sneezing and wheezing for the next 5 days. Like you could be already healed by then.
The medicine ain't heal you in no day. You over
Well,
here
I
still
think
sick.
I have a severe case of something. I have no idea why I'm still sick. And actually, I have never had the flu, but every year in the wintertime, and I've actually got tested for this, an allergy test, I'm allergic to something in the wintertime. You see how a lot of people get allergies in the springtime, where they are literally like dying, like, okay, not dying, sorry, suffering. And I have that in the winter. And now it ranges from the month of November up until the beginning of February. So it can come anytime within those 3 months. 4 months. Am I saying that right? Yes, 4 months. And so I don't know what exactly I'm allergic to. I forgot, but I had a whole list of allergies. And it was something like a winter tree or winter substance or something like that I was allergic to. And so now every winter I know that it's coming, but this time around, this is totally different. I don't know what this is, but it's totally different. And I just have such a bad experience this week. Coughing and throat hurting and all of that. It was just a lot going on. But I'm healing. I'm getting better. It's not my usual voice, but don't worry. Next week, we're going to be all right.
Your voice sounds fine right now, though.
You think so? I feel like there's still a little scratchiness or a little like hoarseness to it. I can't even laugh the same way that I've been used to laughing.
I don't think it's as big for the listeners to be like, oh wow, what's up with her voice? I mean, if anything, that's really me right now, but it is what it is. But anyway, I'll take care of you. And
thank you. And he's been awesome, guys. He's been taking care of me. He didn't make me soup, but he tried.
What do you mean? I did.
You tried to make me some soup, and I hijacked the soup.
Man, like, she over here laying down, sick as hell. So I get up, go ahead and make her something, and then she just gets up and says, actually, let me take over. I'm like, all right, so what's the point of it? You feel me?
Because I think I kind of wanted a specific way, and you were just going to do it your way. So I was like, you know what? I got this. My bad.
I'm about to say, don't say I didn't try to.
You did try. You bought me some OJ and got me some soup. And then what else? You got me snacks. Oh my goodness. You're the best husband ever, even though you were criticizing me for the snacks and you still opened them before me. But that's okay. I love you. You the bomb. Why are you looking like that? Why are you looking at me like that?
Y'all can't see my face right now.
Oh my God. All right. Moving on. Actually, baby, how was your week? I've been talking about mine, but how was yours?
Week was heavy. Wrapped up the last bit of performances that I've been doing for the church and everything, for the Christmas concert. So I wrapped that up. The last one was Sunday morning. Yeah,
how do you feel?
So relieved it's over. But it was a dope experience at the same time. I actually look forward to doing it again if they ask me.
Your first production.
But it was a dope experience. Dope people. Learned a lot. Overall, I just enjoyed it. And yeah, it was cool, man. Had a session trying to get this album done, but my voice is kind of hindering me right now. But I'm going to get back on track. I'm going to let it rest all week. Drink like 18 cups of tea a day and get all the way right.
It's not that deep. Couldn't be that deep.
Oh, no, I'm going to be pissing tea for at least the next 2 weeks.
Lord. Well, I hope you feel better, my love, and I will take care of you. You know I got you.
Word, that's love. How was your week, babe?
Well, aside from being sick, I did have a couple of things that happened for me this week. It wasn't the best week. I actually had someone that I knew from high school pass away. And it was pretty tough because this person, it was a shock. I mean, I think the whole entire, I don't know, class was really shocked with this loss. And he was such a great character, so fun, so encouraging, so supportive. Like, even, and we didn't stay in touch, but we've pretty much followed each other on social media platforms. And I think one or two times we kind of just commented on each other's items and had like a conversation and DMs or whatever, and just saying how you been, how what's going on. And that was pretty much the last time I think I've ever communicated with him. But he'd always have my timeline just live, like always posting videos and just having fun, and just like I feel like his life impacted a lot of people, and it showed with all of the love that he got on his page. And I just couldn't believe it. It was just, his life was just awesome. And he was encouraging. Like with my career in high school, remember how I kind of had a secret life where I sang and stuff like that? He was one of the people who knew and always like encouraged me, and always, he was just so fun. And I went to his wake and saw his mom, and she is so strong. Like, she was just so positive and just so like embracing, and it was just like my heart melted for the family, how strong they are. And just it was like, wow, he got it from them, because he was just such a light, and they were such a light during this whole deal, this stressful, very, very broken time for them. And it was just like, she, not one tear did I see from her. She was just smiling and just happy. Thank you for coming, and this is what's happening. And even the dad was just so, they were a light, for the people who were down. And it was just amazing. So definitely did pay my respects, and praying for the family. And God bless the family of Anthony Lewis. And Anthony Lewis, you will be missed.
God rest his soul.
God rest his soul. Other than that, I did have some, church conflicts, and it wasn't very great for me because I was sick and I was home. It was good to be home, but I was suffering. Other than that, I'm happy to be recording with you. This is one of the good pastimes that we've now developed over the last few months. All right, guys, let's get into the topic of the week. So this week's topic is money and marriage. Now, we're not going to specifically talk about marriage as a whole. If you are in a very serious relationship where you guys consider a long-term outcome, definitely this is for you. And if you need to start talking about it, you should start. So, to all our marriage folks and our serious relationship folks, and those who plan on being in a serious relationship, this is for you. First things first, let's talk about the money topic. In marriages, they say the number one reason for divorce is finances. And we thought this was a very good topic to discuss, because we are in a millennial marriage, right? And we don't want to end up in the place where we're one of those, stereotype. We end up in that bracket. So let's discuss. First things first. How are our spending habits?
Before we get into that, I kind of want to address the reason why it's the number one reason for divorce. Or why I don't think it's really money. I think it's more about your habits and like responsibilities. It's like, it's what you're doing with the money.
You think so?
That can make somebody want to divorce you. If you're just being irresponsible with your money and your spending, then yeah, that's not going to work out. But in regards to like, what could be another reason why you would want to break off a marriage with somebody, and money is the root cause.
Well, maybe if the person is not working, or end up losing a job and not motivated enough to work, or if the person doesn't have enough, you know, or if the person, let's say they just are, they fell on hard times and they don't know how to deal with it, you know? So it doesn't mean that the person is just bad with money. It could just be the situation that they're in regarding the money.
So you get a divorce?
Some people don't know how to handle that. You know, like some people play the blame game. Like, we're in this situation because of you, or if we didn't have this many kids, or if you didn't, X, Y, and Z.
It just seems to be outside issues that are affecting the marriage more than the money itself.
No, it's outside issues that actually affect the money, and the money becomes, it's kind of like, that's the root, right? So all these other things kind of fall.
I don't know. I think those other things are the root, and the money is like is the one on Front Street. Like, yeah, this is the reason why we're breaking up. Like, nah, it's your behavior.
It's your behavior. So let's say, okay, all right. Well, let me give you an example. Let's say we have two people in a relationship. They're really good. They're very responsible, and one of them loses a job. Right? Mm-hmm. And that person who loses a job can't find one right now. It's like has been a long time, like let's say a couple years. And they probably doing like side jobs or, just hustling right now. And it's making some type of difference, but not really. So does that mean that it's an outside issue that the person doesn't have a job that relates to them just breaking up? That actually is a money issue.
Well, yeah, but are those grounds for divorce?
If the person is expecting you to make it work and you can't make it work, they will decide to divorce you.
Like, if you lose your job, but on top of that you lose your drive and you don't do anything.
But even if you have drive, right?
But what I'm saying is, how are you going
to
divorce
somebody? Some people are not
somebody?
As tolerant.
I mean, I don't know, man or woman. I mean, because marriage is really, ain't about that. It's about the person.
And let's talk about it from a different scenario. If a mom decides to be a stay-at-home mom, right?
Yeah.
And she's been out of work for years, right? And she does want to be a stay-at-home mom or whatever. And it's times have gotten harder because inflation. And inflation gets to a point where it's kind of getting crazy and the man can't handle it all. And the woman is just like, I mean, I'm not getting jobs, or, I really want to be with the kids and this, that, and the third. That could be a root of the money thing.
All these are issues to me that test a marriage, but not grounds for divorce, in my personal opinion.
Okay, I agree, but some people don't feel that way. Some people actually want the entire package.
Yeah, I get it. I just disagree.
Yeah, I'm with you. But I'm just saying that it does relate to the point. What I'm trying to say is it does relate to money. It's not like outside issues that.
But it relates to money, but I feel like the root cause of it isn't that, because if you divorce and if your husband or wife lose their job,
yeah,
can't get another job,
yeah,
but they're actively working to get something or make us some kind of means to support, but it's not enough. You know what I'm saying? Like,
okay, so
I don't know if that's
you're basically
grounds.
saying that in the only way that it could be grounds for divorce is if that person is just irresponsible.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying, like, that's really like I feel like that's the main issue when it comes to, like, it's your money management, like how you handle it.
So if the person is just a spender and not a saver and putting them in a money hole, they're like,
or if you just can't prioritize correctly, you know what I'm saying?
Okay, that's a good, yeah. So that is grounds for divorce.
Absolutely. If you don't, like, if I'm,
I think that a lot of people do have that, but I also feel like a lot of people do consider those other examples that I brought up.
I'm just saying, I don't know. When I think about marriage, I think about all the other things that are attached to it, and then I also think about money and finances, all that. I mean, it's definitely a part of it, and it's an important part, but all of the other aspects of marriage that I particularly like are strong enough to hold this marriage up, even if the money starts to tank.
You know what? Maybe somebody will get blessed with that word, Pastor. And that's great. I actually agree with you, but we have to be realistic that there is irresponsibility there, but there's also other factors that relate to the money.
Yeah, I just feel like there's an issue you have within yourself already.
Oh, okay. Now you want to be a therapist. I feel like you're diving deep and saying that you got an issue if you're going to highlight this and factor it in and say it's grounds for divorce.
I'm just saying, like, is that all that person good for?
I think that
I don't know. I'm just a little bit more optimistic. Like, I'm with hope.
I think that,
Like,
it depends on what the person is expecting, and maybe we can dive deep when we go into the parts of what we want to talk about. So we can dive deeper and say basically, how are we as spenders, right?
Okay. You want to talk about me or you? Or?
You can talk about you first.
I mean, I'm simple. I'm not a spender.
You're not a spender.
I really spend all my money on bills, and that's. I mean, it's responsible, but kind of whack because I want some nice things every now and again. But I know I rarely do that. But I mean, I don't know. But when I do, have some extra bread, I'll definitely treat myself or whatever. Or I mean, it's not even like stuff materialistic. My extra money will go to like, I don't know, it'll be something music related or whatever, or take you out to eat or something like that. Like, those are luxuries to me, my personal opinion. Not like buying Jordans and all that stuff and whatever. But I don't know, I'll try to, buy like a real music hoodie, try to do some kind of investing in any kind of way. But I don't know. Like, that's kind of where, if I get some extra money, it's going to go towards stuff like that. But other than that, if I ain't doing that, my money's just kind of going to bills
and saving.
Stay afloat. Well, saving I gotta be better at, to be honest with you. I mean, like, granted, we do have our joint saving, but I gotta be better with my personal saving. That's like a bit of an uphill battle. I mean, I do have a personal savings, but it should be more than what it is, straight up.
Well, with me, I am a spender.
Oh yeah.
I am a spender, but I am responsible as much as I can be.
We got like 2 or 3 industrial black garbage bags filled with Amazon Prime boxes.
You know what? I am a responsible...
These are facts, by the way.
Just go over there. I am a responsible spender. What I do, and this is before marriage, I used to not be responsible. I just bought everything I wanted to and then just leave a little bit of cushion money. And then while we were in a relationship, that's because I was in college. So while we were in a relationship, in the beginning of our relationship, I started to be more responsible with saving and putting money aside when I needed it. I still was a little bit irresponsible, but I was getting better with my saving habits. And then as we got into a deeper relationship and as the years gone on, I got a lot more better with saving and money managing. And now that we're married, or before we were married, like right after we got engaged, it was like literally budgeting and setting a financial plan for me. So I was much better with money managing after we got engaged because I actually put my priorities, I set up my priorities considering the both of us. So it was a lot of, making sure our standards or our expectations were met. And so I got better. Now, I'm still a spender, but I'm so much more of a saver and a responsible spender. So before anything, bills get taken care of, business gets taken care of, and I save for when I know a bill is getting ready to come, but so I don't spend my money on what I really like. I kind of save it, and then I wait for the sale, so I'm pretty much in a good space.
You buy things on sale that you don't need. And you buy it just because it's on sale.
What is up with you, Monsieur Francois?
Well, I'm just saying, like,
okay,
no,
I do need it. I like it.
Nah, it'd be something random. I
like it. I work hard. I can, splurge a little bit.
Like, we have a blender, but then you'll buy a blender on sale.
That's not even true.
Because it's $10 instead of
that is not even
because
true.
it's $10 instead of 30.
Can you give a real example? That is not even true.
All right, fine.
Yeah, like what are you talking about?
But I mean, like you do buy like you'll double up and buy something even though the first thing is still working.
But is everything else taken care of though?
What do you mean?
Is everything else completely taken care of?
In regards to what?
In terms of my spending.
Well, like the bills?
Yeah.
No, yeah.
Okay.
I'm talking about having just a whole bunch of extra stuff here that we don't need.
Listen, that's on me. Okay.
But why, my thing
I
is,
can do that if I want to.
Your argument is like, yo, but like it's on sale, like it's less money. I'm like, yeah, but you could have saved.
No, but that's something that I wanted.
I mean, yeah, but I don't know. I don't be seeing you put certain things to use. You know what I'm saying? I'll be like, yo,
He's
ain't
just
that the
mad
one thing you love?
because I buy little nice little knickknacks and little decoration stuff
Knickknacks,
and
like, what the
stuff that.
Hell is a knickknack? What you doing with that? What you need with that?
Listen, I don't say anything when you make your little purchases and your hats and stuff like that.
Hats? When the last time I bought a hat?
And your little jewelry that you like. I don't say
When's
nothing
the
about
last
that.
time I bought a hat
That's
and some
not the
jewelry?
point. Do I say
What do you-
anything? Do I say anything when you purchase? That's not the point.
Because my purchase
on the
game is
point.
different.
What?
Your purchasing, my purchasing rate is different.
Anywho, back to the point. I am a responsible spender and saver now. I'm
saying,
much
like-
better with my habits now. That does not affect him, by the way, but he always has
I'm
opinions
just saying, like she's gonna
about
buy,
my
she's
lifestyle.
gonna buy a suitcase on sale, like a random suitcase.
We
Like,
may need that suitcase.
we got a suitcase. I mean, you got one.
So sick of you.
I'm just
right
saying,
now.
you'd be like, oh, it's $20. It used to be $40. I'm like, but you could have saved all the money. Like, you didn't have to spend anything.
Okay.
Like,
All right.
the biggest sale is to stay on. That's how you save money.
Leave me alone. But it was cute. Obviously, you have a problem with my spending habits.
No, I'm just saying,
even
like,
though bills are taken care of.
It's when
rent is paid.
Yes, our rent
all
is always
of that.
paid. But I'm just
and
talking
you
about.
still have a problem.
I'm talking
We're
about
gonna
when
talk
things
about that in a
when
little
things
bit.
aren't put to use.
We are going to talk about
I'm
that.
talking
in a
about when
little
things aren't put to use, and we just have a whole bunch of extra stuff here, and I'm just like, yo, what are we doing
you were
with all
so
of this?
annoying. I wish I could just bring
So
up
cleaning
something.
up just be annoying.
That you do, which you do all the time. I'm
Well,
so sick of you. Let me do what I want to do, okay? Let me be me.
I mean, I ain't stopping you. I'm just saying.
You just have a lot of
These
opinions.
are just critiques.
Okay, thanks, Mr. Critique. Anyway, next, let's talk about our spending and our savings together. When did we start spending and saving together?
Yeah, like as soon as I proposed, that's when it started.
Yep.
So for right now, it's been like about 2 years. Nah, more than that. Yeah, like almost 3 years. And that was a hill to climb at first. To do the whole joint account thing. But I mean, we adjusted to it. Fairly quickly. And
Very
all that.
quickly, yeah.
Yeah, it was a bit of a hill to climb because I mean, I ain't gonna lie. I used to mess up with that because, like, I'll be the type to spend. I'll be the type to.
Before that, we pretty much need to explain how we started. So as soon as you put that rock on my finger, we decided to have a joint account. I've never had a joint account with anybody, and I think at that place we really didn't talk about money ever.
Yeah, not that
together.
Much. But us getting married and all that.
It had to
we
be
had
done.
to put. I remember because I was running around the time we had a conversation with my parents.
Yeah.
And that's what my mother was telling us. She was like, "Yo,
y'all need to
like, she was
talk
like,
to each other about
his
money."
debt is your debt, your debt, his debt.
Yeah, that's true.
All of that, like,
That's
you feel
true.
me? Like, know what you're getting into.
Yeah.
You saying you gotta know their credit history.
Yeah.
All of that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's all gonna be tied into one. You know what I'm saying? So that's when we had. So that year is when we had that real chop up, like in regards to how much we make weekly or bi-weekly or whatever. Like, see how much is coming in, how much is going
tough
out.
for me.
All that.
Because
I mean, it was new territory, man.
Yeah, we never had to answer to each other about what we make or who got what, and Like, we make sure things are handled, and you handle what you need to handle when it comes to me. And if, whatever comes for you, I could make sure it's handled. And it was never really a topic of discussion
Nah, it
for
wasn't.
all those years. So your mom had to make sure that we were ready for that prior to really tying the knot.
Yeah. Facts.
And we did a financial course. It was like a series.
Oh yeah. Shout out to
the Budgetnista.
Tiffany, the Budgetnista. She's all over the place now. I seen her on
yeah.
The View.
Mm-hmm.
I think she's on The Real, all types of stuff.
Yeah.
She's making her rounds all over media, but her story was incredible. Like I think basically, she was like 30, ended up moving back in with her parents or something like that. She was in a lot of debt, and she just broke out of that in like a couple years. Now her credit's through the roof. She's married now, doing all these great things, got a successful business. So her story was dope. And she's just a dope person. She was, real cool. So we did that. She just came to Newark, and I forgot what school that was, but we was taking that course at first.
8 weeks or 6 weeks?
Yeah, something like that, like something 6 to 8 weeks.
Awesome, so knowledgeable.
I still got the book here
Yep.
and everything.
Still have the books, and it was helpful. We even asked her at the end or the last day.
Yeah, we chopped it up with her.
So if we asked her, we're planning on getting married. So how do we best plan and budget for that?
She said 2 words. She just said, save aggressively.
Yes.
And I was like, okay, gotcha.
Yes. And she said, stay at your mama house. You guys live together? No.
She was like, yeah.
Stay in your mama house. Don't leave. So yeah, that's what we did. We started a joint account.
Mm-hmm.
And then we decided to set a financial plan.
Yeah, so we decided to meet with my boy Kirk, one of my friends from high school, a good friend of mine, who's actually like our financial advisor. And
hey, Kirk.
We decided to start up a money market fund, a mutual fund, and which basically like it's a mutual fund that invests in like high quality and short term debt instruments and stuff like that. We just something that we just wanted to start off and put our money in there because it's basically it should be used as a place to park money temporarily before investing elsewhere or making an anticipated cash outlay. That's basically why we got into that. So we have our money in there currently, and then eventually we'll jump into a probably more like aggressive savings fund or investments and all of that. We're gonna tackle that when the time being, when we get into the house mentality and all that.
Yeah.
But so we met with him and decided to put that money away. So he helped us out there. We did that like right after I proposed, like in the next coming months. That's when we decided to handle all of that.
Ball was rolling pretty much. We how that worked is, and how it helps you is kind of like it kind of forces you to save. So it's automatic.
It's like an automatic withdrawal.
Automatic withdrawal, where it's like we have to make sure that money is in that account.
Yeah.
And if it's not, then you're pretty much in the red. And so we had to make sure that it was there and make sure that that was accounted for on top of the money that we were actually saving for the wedding.
Yeah. So we kind of had our, we had our personal saving and then the wedding savings just to cover. To be honest with you, I didn't really know what gift we would get or what money. I wasn't really thinking about none of that. I just wanted to have the wedding and it'd be over and it'd be done with it.
Yeah.
And then we take the money we've been saving and go do what we got to do with it.
Yeah. We pretty much we wanted cushion money after the wedding.
Yeah, just, you know what I'm saying?
5 hours, we still have a life to pretty much.
Yeah, we still got to, get our place, the furniture, have a honeymoon, all that. So, but by the grace of God, good people, we were blessed with, some money to, take care of a couple things. So, so it was best. So we had, that and the money we've been saving. So that helped us get on our feet really quickly right after the wedding. So.
We were really, really blessed. And also, I did a third way. So we did our savings account as well as a checking account, and then we did our mutual fund. And I did a third way as well.
Oh, so you did the pool?
I did the pool. I did the money pool. So a lot of us foreigners know what this is. This is, to some people, it's called a sol. To some people, it's called a susu. I don't know, a money pot, hand and pot, whatever you call it, you know what it is. I pretty much did two. I did one small short-term one with one of my good friends, my sister practically. She did one with her father, and I did that. And then I did another one with my mom. And she's pretty much involved in a lot of money pools and money pots. And that goes for, it could be for a year and a half, it could be for a year, it could be for 6 months. I did two of those. So I did three types of ones over the year or 2 years that we were planning for the wedding. And
no wonder you had all that money.
I did a lot of saving. I literally was saving aggressively. I did 2 with you and then 3 money pools. And I was good. I was sitting. Like I didn't
You can flex if you want. Sitting on what?
I was sitting very comfortably. So all them packages, just know that I was really saving every single penny. So I did really well. And I was budgeting well. So a lot of the things that I did in my wedding were very it was very budget friendly. And this wedding was very costly, but it was very budget friendly. So a lot of the things that I was doing, I did a lot of research to make sure that I get a lot of bang for my buck. So, oh my gosh, when we tell, I have to say about my florist, yeah. So it was a lot of bang for my buck, and I did really good. I did really, really good. So, yeah. So I did a lot of saving that year. 2 years really. So yeah, there's a lot of ways that you can save and spend with your mate. You just set a financial plan, and that's what we did.
I'm talking about budgeting. That wedding cost a whole lot of money. I don't know where you were saving money at.
It could have cost more if I hadn't made sure that we were budget friendly. Everything was budget friendly. It could have cost way more. So be happy that you spent what we spent. Next.
Just gonna check me like that in front of everybody.
Next, talking about joint accounts and the financial plan, we didn't only spend for the wedding. We also saved. I'm sorry, we didn't only save for the wedding. We also saved for our honeymoon. So I wanted to go somewhere. I wanted to go away from everybody, everything. I wanted to take a break. And we also knew that was going to take a lot of money, pretty much take up a bunch of money. And so we saved for that. So setting up the financial plan, it does have those steps. You set a plan, you set what you're going to plan for, what you're going to save for. This is going to be for this is going to be for that, this is going to be for this. And we also set up a plan to save for a first apartment. There was so many factors in our savings plan. And so you also have to make sure that you have that breakdown in your savings, your financial plan. And so we pretty much covered all the bases. And it was very good that I did that because I'm pretty much the money manager of this relationship.
What do you mean you're the money manager?
I am, babe. You didn't think about all of those factors?
What factors?
See, look, you're not even listening.
No, I'm saying, like, what you talking about? Apartment? Of course.
Yeah, I mean, you didn't really think about it. I mean, of course, we talked about it.
I got the apartment. What you mean I ain't thinking about it?
No, see, this is why. This is why you need to listen to what I'm saying. I didn't say that you didn't think about getting one. I'm saying what we were saving for, we had literal plans, literal avenues that we needed to designate each pile of money to. Okay? You did not break it down that way. You were just like, okay, let's save. Okay? And I am the money manager because I think about those factors.
Hold up. But after the wedding, I knew that, this amount of money gotta go to the honeymoon. I knew
after this. I'm talking about the setting the financial plan part, the initial plan.
I mean, I was focused on the wedding before the wedding. Right after the wedding, we calculated what we had. That's when I was like, all right. That's when we were like, yo, this money goes here. This goes to furniture. This go to the apartment. This go to this. This go to that.
Okay. Case closed. Thanks, baby. I really appreciate that. All right. So next.
You gonna check me twice? That's twice.
I guess we kind of turned into this topic a
You're
little bit.
taking advantage of me because I'm sick. That's what's going on.
I'm not taking advantage of you, babe. I'm just trying to have a conversation. That's all, baby. Thank you, though. Love you.
Wait till I get my voice back.
So, baby, we did kind of touch on this subtopic. What do we splurge on?
I don't splurge on that.
You don't splurge on anything? You splurge on stuff that's music related.
But that's not a splurge. It's just...
Yeah, it is. Like
splurge means like you going crazy. Like you spending...
No, it does not mean that you're going crazy. It's just like kind of like what is your money spent most on?
Bills. Like
aside from bills.
I don't know, yo. To be honest with you, it varies. It just depends on what I need at the moment. It could be for a session. It could be for, I don't know,
music. Okay.
Some clothes, maybe. That's pretty rare.
Real apparel. Music.
Yeah, even that's rare. Like, you know, but I don't know.
I think
that's something I really gotta think about because I really don't be. You feel me?
Your money goes towards a lot of your music ventures, a lot of your music plans and stuff like that. That's what you splurge on.
I guess, but even that is kind of a little far in between sometimes.
Okay.
But I guess if you want to tie it into one thing, I guess it would be that.
I know that
they just don't feel like a splurge, but yeah, go ahead.
Oh, okay. Well, I know that I splurge on clothes and food. That's where most of my money goes on.
You didn't even finish your food either. Yo, last week she bought...
What is going on here?
Last week she bought like two... What do you call those cans? Like
going on
those
here?
Pringles kind of can, like, but it was Lay's. Bought 2 of those chips. Two big bags of Doritos, one big bag, like 3 boxes of cheeses. Like, you're wilding. Like, it's like I thought you was like, you know, shopping for a kid's party or something.
We're shopping for us because you ate half of that stuff. Okay.
I didn't have it. I took some out of here. I brought some up.
You ate half.
No,
you gonna lie again?
No, but
I brought it up. The other day, you gonna lie again?
How did I lie? When I didn't eat half of that. I took half to PA. You know that,
babe. You ate half of those snacks up there.
No, I ate only the one little thing.
You know,
the little Pringles thing. I ate that. I did eat that. But you
God.
bought hella snacks though.
Okay, I can buy snacks. I just said I splurge on food.
You be wildin',
like I'm literally admitting that right now.
I know, man. It's just you be wildin'.
Like I feel like you just want to criticize everything I'm saying.
Nah, man. You just be wildin'.
You stressed?
Nah, I ain't stressed.
You stressed?
You the one stressed with all this snack eating. You the one that gotta handle something.
Oh my gosh. So pretty much, it's true. I spend a lot on food and clothes, and that's where most of my money goes towards. And little knickknacks that I find interesting, and that
you don't even wear the clothes.
So I don't eat the food, and I don't wear the clothes.
You don't be finishing your food,
and I don't need anything else that I buy. What else? What else you got for me? So pretty much, I'm just wasting money.
I mean, if you want to get into that, we can get into that. But that's a conversation you gotta have with the mirror. And that's not something we talk about. You got to talk about that with yourself.
Yo, you are dead wrong right now.
Why?
Because it doesn't make any sense. Like, how is that even affecting you? Why is it bothering you so much?
Nah, it's not. I just be confused. I just be thinking to myself, like, yo, man, why is she doing that?
What? Because I want to. Just like
I've seen you buy clothes,
what you do, and you say leave you be. It's because you want to. Like,
yeah, but but you wasting money. You don't want to waste money.
Do you remember when you said that if somebody like has a mate that just sits in Jello on a Thursday, this is my Jello on a Thursday. It's because I want to. If I can, I will do it. How does that bother?
I don't know. That's Cosby Jello. I don't know.
You know what? I can't. Anywho, that's what I splurge my money on. I think that Monsieur Francois, I've never even seen it like this, but I guess we need to have a conversation about my splurging
I've never not told you this.
Okay, but how does this affect you?
Nah, I'll just be asking like, yo, why you want to waste money?
It's not a waste to me, though. It's a waste to you.
I'm surprised it don't feel like it.
It's not a waste because I actually eat my snacks. I actually wear my clothes.
Nah, you don't be wearing them clothes,
Yes,
bro.
I do.
Like you buy stuff, don't wear it, and then you realize you don't like it.
That is not true. Stop lying. That's not true.
I'm talking about what I'm gonna wear. Like you got a whole outfit of clothes.
Anywho, so let's talk about this. Is it his money, my money, our money, or is it your money is mine is mine, and ours is ours? What do you think?
You ain't about to take my money.
But it's my money.
Says who?
It's my money. Yours is mine.
But the money too? You could take my shirt or hoodie and all that, but how you just gonna take my money? I worked hard for that.
Okay. What do you think? What is your thought?
Nah, I mean, honestly, I'm actually with the whole sharing aspect of it. I don't mind. I'll never mind if like you borrowed whatever, or unless it was something crazy and I couldn't pay something because of it. But like, I don't know. Like, I'm too beyond that when it comes to us. Like, the trust level I have for you has been through the roof for years. So, in regards to like how you would manage like my personal money, I'm like, yeah, go ahead or whatever. Like, or if you need it, I could care less.
Okay.
That just never mattered to me.
Okay.
Just never did.
Okay. I think that a lot of people will agree that your money is mine is mine, and ours is ours.
Yeah, that's whack though.
But I actually don't live that way. I think yours is yours, mine is mine, ours is ours. I think that it's only right that we consider one another when we have our joint and we put our money in our joint, and we leave that there for what we need to handle. And I do what I want with my money, and you do what you want with your money, and nobody is criticizing or complaining, especially if it doesn't affect us. But hey,
so if you was doing all that with our money, then I have jurisdiction there.
I think so. I think that's only right. If it's my money and I'm not doing anything that's jeopardizing or affecting you,
but babe, you know what that feels like. Like you'll jump in. Like even if something's not directly affecting you, you'll question, you'll criticize. Like you do that too.
Why? I don't do that to you. No.
Of course you do.
Not with your money. No.
No, it don't gotta be the money. It can be anything.
I think that if it's your money and you do what you want to do with it, I will never criticize you.
But you're talking about it not personally affecting. You're saying that I'm not affected by this, so why am I reacting? But you.
No, I think.
Like I'm not physically. Like
I think
I'm not.
You can have your opinion, yeah, but you can't just be like. Okay.
That's my opinion, though.
You have an opinion. Plus, you try to stop me from buying my snacks.
I never tried to stop with buying snacks, but that's more of a help. That's not. The snacks is more about.
You try to stop me from.
The snacks is more about the health than the money.
And you try to stop me from shopping.
Stop you from shopping?
Yes, when I be on Amazon and I be scrolling like.
But first of all, I do that.
Okay.
Wait, hold on. You mean stop you from shopping on Amazon?
Yeah, like you're like, babe, you don't need to get that. Like you try to stop me
because I know it's gonna lead
so
to.
Just proving my point.
What I'm saying is, but you're saying that
you
said it don't affect me. I'm telling you how it's gonna affect me.
How? It's not affecting your pocket.
Your health will affect me if it's crappy. That's one.
Okay.
Two. If you buying a whole bunch of extra stuff that we don't need, you're going to make every little moving process we have heavy.
Oh, here we go.
I'm saying, like, everything we got to clean, everything we got to this and that. And then if we do some kind of spring cleaning, we throwing away all them stuff that you really don't need, and it's actually more work. That's what I feel like I got to step in.
Actually need, and I get it, and he doesn't understand it, but
you don't buy what you need. You buy what you want.
No, I buy what I need a lot of the time.
The things you want are here already. I mean, like, we got toilet paper.
Stuff improves with time.
We got towels.
Oh, my Lord.
We got medicine. All the little stuff that goes in its respective places.
I think that we should get into the tips now, babe.
I bet.
I think that it's very important that we should get into the tips now because we've touched every tip today in this actual conversation.
I bet.
Okay. First things first, again, we're not professionals, but we're just telling our story.
That's all.
So let's get into the tips. Talk about money. We know that money is awkward. It's an awkward, not money is awkward. Marketing is an awkward topic, and it could be a little touchy. But talk about it. If you're seriously considering a long-term relationship, and if you're seriously thinking about marrying this person, you have to talk about it. This is something that's very, very important that you do, especially when you're getting ready to set up a financial plan. If you do not know each other's plan to contribute or wage, let's talk about it. Talk about it. It's necessary, especially if you decide to start a family or, you're getting ready to start a family. You have to talk about it. You need to make sure that every base is covered.
Yeah, just like how you want to know a lot about your future spouse's, history in regards to like their dating history or like just, you want to know like a significant amount of their past before you go forward. You definitely want to know their financial history as well.
Yeah.
So.
Know their debts, know who they owe, know if they're in the red.
You know what I'm saying? There's ways to do it. Just don't be weird about it and don't be overly critical. You know what I'm saying?
The pot calling the kettle black.
We married now, so it's over.
Oh, wow. Don't be overly critical.
I'm just saying, like, there's ways to go about the conversation. Ease into it gently. You know what I'm saying?
Ease into it gently? How would you do it?
How much money you make? Let me hold $50. No, nah, I mean, I don't know. I'll just do it the way we did it. And I kind of forgot how that was. But anyway, we did it the right way.
I think that I pretty much brought it up right after we had the conversation with your mom. But the conversation with your mom was way before we got engaged, actually. We were just talking about that's something that we're getting ready to do. And she was like, before you do it, think about the money aspect, the money area. And so how I brought it up, and I was like, that's a good way and I talked to my mom about it too. And she's like, yeah, that's very important. You need to know who you're dealing with and he needs to know who he's dealing with. So the way I brought it up, and I was like, you know what, let's sit down and try to figure out how we're going to, actually we did this right after we got engaged. I was like, you know what, we need to sit down and figure out how we're going to move forward in terms of contributing to this marriage financially. So, and this wedding financially, that was the first test, pretty much testing us in saving and spending and pretty much being money managers. Yep. So talk about it. Don't be afraid to talk about it. It's important. It's relevant to your marriage and relationship. Number 2, don't count your mate's money. Get out their pocket. Stay in your own pocket. I think that was clear.
Number 3.
Clearly, he's always in my pocket, and I'm never in his. Clearly, he's always in mine, and I'm always out of his. But if you do have a mate like mine, just do what you do. Make sure that you're still handling business and everything is taken care of, and your contribution is pretty much, contributed. And so don't pay them any mind. If it really does affect him or her, though, I think that's a conversation that needs to be definitely talked through, and maybe you guys can come to a common ground. Whereas sometimes I do understand where it's like, if it's something I really don't need, he is the voice in the back of my head. Is just like, okay, don't need it. I'm gonna just move on. So definitely dive deep in that talk and stay in your lane, stay in your pocket. Don't be counting their dollars. Don't let them count yours. As long as you're, making sure that the expectations are met, do what you do. It's fine. Be a strong, stand firm and stand your ground, even if you got a critic that's on your side or on your arm. Number 3, do you have anything else to say?
Nope. Number 3,
Number 3.
Set a financial plan. Like, so if you're good at budgeting, then you could just basically do it yourself. You know, you sit down with your spouse and you just create a nice, organized plan of, you know, what you need to handle, who's going to handle what.
Yep.
You know, make sure that you know, make on-time payments and all that. That's huge. You know, of course, credit building and everything. We did that, and we decided to sit with somebody who's even, you know, more, you know, professional and,
Yeah.
you know, in regards to, like, you know, the saving aspect and all that.
Yeah.
You know, just knowing where our money should be, making sure your money's, you know, protected and all that good stuff. So definitely set a plan in play, and you know, going forward, just you know, adhere to it.
Yeah.
Because, you know, it's definitely gonna make things like a lot easier going forward. You know, we have like a whole Excel spreadsheet of like all of our bills for like every month, and you know, we got all the numbers in there, and then every month we update it, and we just go forward and forward. You know, the confirmation numbers and all that. You know, just having all that important data for whatever. You know, so you know, just keep all of that stuff organized. You know, create a nice, clear, concise plan, and you know, you should be in good shape. You'll be good money.
Yeah, and the financial plan could be a lot. There's a lot that can fall into that umbrella. So you could talk about bill payments. What's the plan for that? Is it a 50-50 contribution? Is it you got these and then I got this one and I got the kids and you got this, you got the house, and you know, you have to set up a specific expectations in every realm. So it could be bill payments, rent and mortgage, groceries, setting up spreadsheets, joint accounts, mutual fund, having a financial advisor, budgeting, saving. Make sure that you probably should have a very detailed financial plan prior to tying the knot and making sure that you adhere and you both meet the expectations that are set.
Yeah, just stay organized with
it.
That's it. Simple as that.
Be very, 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 very organized.
Be organized and just know exactly, you know, what you're getting into, how you want to do it. And, you know, it's just really, it really ain't hard, to be honest with you.
It's not, no.
You know, it's not really.
It sounds like, oh my goodness, that's a lot. But it's not. As long as you both are mutually invested in each other's financial plan, and
all you gotta do is both just be responsible.
Yeah, be responsible.
If y'all pay your own bills, then when y'all get together, you know, like me, like I've always been like, I always just paid my bills. Always had on-time payments, all that.
Yeah.
And she was the same. You know what I'm saying? So when we came together, it wasn't nothing new. Now we're paying our bills. I mean, we still have our personal bills, but when we're paying our bills, we're bringing that same habit into this. You know what I'm saying? So now, because if I don't bring that same habit, then me, you know, failing in that right is gonna affect her. I don't want to do that. You know what I'm saying? So you just gotta stay on top of it.
So just fall into that saying: if you fail to plan to fail. So just be smart with it. If it's anything you got out of this, make sure you set that real good financial plan. And don't be awkward. That's your mate. You should be able to talk about it. Number 4, designate the money manager in your relationship. Okay? Make sure everybody knows that in a relationship, there's one person that is better with money management than the other. And in this case, it's me. Is it not?
Just saying, like, my voice goes and you just want to pick on me.
Yeah. So set that person who is really great at money management. Make sure that we, you know, replenish when we take. Make sure that
I was bad with that at first. I'm not gonna lie. We had our
talk about it.
We had our joint account, and I'll buy something. I'll always forget to put it back. And she used to always have to remind me. Now, I mean, granted, when I do it, I always planned on doing it. I didn't go there just to. I wouldn't use our card and just go crazy and do all types of wild stuff and expect not to pay. You know what I'm saying? But I will just forget, like, because it'll just slip my mind. And I'm like, and she'll get to a point where she got to remind me, I'm like, oh, damn, my bad, and all that. So
say it, honey. Growth.
I gave that up, but yeah.
You definitely did. You stopped that horrible habit.
I left that in the past.
Yeah, so we decided that I was just, you know, managing the money. and keeping on top of certain things that we need to handle. Now you're really great. You're good at it to the point where you're just like, oh, babe, don't forget. And I'm like, oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, I be
Yeah,
on,
you're
but
great.
I'm on it with the bills though. Like the minute the day hits, I mean, for at least not definitely, I'm the one that's like, yo, you gotta be on point with this.
Mm.
You gotta be on time. You gotta make sure that happens and all that.
With money managers, now that you brought up your example, I know a lot of couples who that one person in that relationship is kind of like a little greedy. You know, they feel like our money is really our money and I can take more of it whenever I need to because it's our money and you shouldn't have a problem with it because it's our money. You got to be mindful of those people too as the money manager. You want to make sure that our money is not like, how could I say, so easily accessible. Maybe our money could be only accessed by just you, and if that person wants access to that money because they're very horrible with saving and really bad with managing their money, they can come to you and touch our money. Maybe that's a plan you can form. If this mate is kind of like just really bad with saving, you want to make sure that as the money manager, you kind of just say, hey, maybe we can decide that we're going to save this amount, and whenever we get ready to spend it, I will be the person to, spend it or click that button or, this, that, and the third. There's probably a little bit more diving deep into that realm of that financial plan. So think about it. He was bad at it, but we worked it out. Now he's great at it. So we're good. Our money stays our money.
Facts.
Number 5, be considerate. Sometimes in relationships, you can probably fall on a rocky time with money. Your car breaks down. You have to pay.
Job.
You lose your job. You have to pay a huge medical bill that you weren't expecting to get. Sometimes this person could really be in a financial state that's like in the red. So you want to be that mate that considers that and make sure that you don't shame your mate or your partner because they're not handling business. You want to make sure that you consider it of, okay, well, you're not going to be able to do it this time. I got you. And if we can't make it the next time, we have to plan for how we're going to make it work next time. Continue to keep that person in mind, even if they're at their peak or right or at the bottom, for better or worse, right? So you want to make sure that you consider your mate. No money shaming, unless it becomes a really bad habit and you're just like, okay, we need to figure something out. And if this doesn't work out the way that it needs to work out, I don't know. We're going to have to figure something out. Maybe therapy and God, possibly. Any thoughts?
Sometimes you might just have to be a wallet to lean on.
What?
Sometimes you got to be a wallet to lean on.
What do you mean?
If they need it, if they need your assistance, like your spouse, whatever. I'm going off of what you was just talking about.
The person who has the wallet should be leaned on?
Yeah, you got to be a wallet to lean on.
Oh, I get it now. Oh my goodness, that went right over my head. Yeah, sometimes you gotta be a wallet to lean on, and for a temporary time, and just be considerate, be understanding. Okay.
How'd that go over here?
I don't know.
You watch too much Wendy. Heard if you watch Wendy, your IQ goes down.
Oh,
like
you know what? Goodbye.
I'm
all right.
saying.
Number 6.
You watch Wendy with her long face. Her face longer than Monday. Shout out to Wendy.
Number 6. How you gonna shout out? We just said.
Number 6.
Number 6. The last but the most important one. Give to God. Give it to God. Bless God with your 10%. You were blessed to have it, so make sure that you give it. Aside from church, you make sure that you probably donate something or do some charity with it.
Mm-hmm.
It's important that you are a giver. But with wisdom now. I'm saying that you don't give your whole check away and then you just don't have anything. Of course, God gives us wisdom, and we know exactly where to spend it. But you definitely need to keep Him first and foremost. For me, I am never used to be, but I'm now a faithful tither, and I do give 10% of my gross, and not my net, because I did used to give my net, but I got teachings from Bible study one night that it was actually from your actual gross, which is a lot more because it's, taxes and all that stuff. But I do tithe, and I am proud that I'm a faithful tither because God has definitely shown His miracles in our life ever since I became a faithful tither. So He definitely blesses abundantly when we give unto Him. So give to God, give to charity, bless somebody with it. I also now am more prone and open to blessing people who beg for change and stuff like that. Not all the time, but with wisdom you can, especially if it's really cold, and you do try to offer food, but a lot of the times I'm approached while I'm driving, so all I could really offer is $1 or some change and stuff like that.
I gave this lady some money once, and she bought a black amount right in my face. She almost ruined it for everybody.
Okay.
But I still be giving out that money when I can.
When you can. If you have it, please give. I know that. Do you have anything else to additionally say, baby?
If anybody listening are actual avid, churchgoers, and you actually have faith in your church, you believe it's a good one.
Yes.
Believe you gotta give. Like my pastor said, you gotta give. You don't give to the church, you give through the church. The church really should serve as like a bank, like a trusted bank.
Yeah.
Basically, and they can hold the money, and that money should be used to give back either to the members or to the community.
Yes. Or even to the church. Like if something breaks.
No, of course. Clearly all of that stuff. But you know what I'm saying.
Provide for the church.
You gotta have heat and all that. But so I think that's important. You don't want to be on no Creflo Dollar thing who wanted $10 million because the C on the Creflo was crooked on his jet.
Let's just be mindful that you're not a part of those congregations.
None of that clown behavior.
Yeah, be smart on who you're giving your money to, and if they really are people of God, be very, very smart about that. But it is in the Word that you should give your tithes, and read about it. Be very, very educate yourself on it. So yeah, be very thorough with those scriptures and know exactly how to give and what to give. All right.
Facts.
Well, in that case, we could just go right into the verse of the week, which will be coming from Deuteronomy 14, verse 22. And this says, "Thou shalt truly tithe all the increase of thy seed, that the field bringeth forth year by year." So, just as we just said, tithe. Give it to God first. Before all of that, setting the financial plan and designating the money manager and spending and saving and all of that, you literally have to carve out that time to financially plan what you're going to give to God. And then everything under that umbrella will already be blessed because you're blessing God. Anything else, babe?
Amen.
Amen. Alrighty. So, do you have any thoughts? More comments, more criticism?
Nope.
Y'all set?
I'm good, man. I got to rest up.
Yeah.
Get my voice back.
Me too. But happy that we were able to do this week with you guys. If you have any thoughts, comments, questions, concerns, books, anything that you'd like to let us know, feel free to comment. Shoot us a question, whatever you decide to do. We'd love to hear from you. And definitely keep following, keep subscribing.
Comment, post. Like, comment, repost, share, subscribe, all of that.
Yeah.
On all the platforms.
Or
your
stream.
Preferred platform.
Yes. We really appreciate you, by the way. It's been great feedback so far, and we're very, very appreciative. So let us know how you feel. Let us know your thoughts. We're very, very happy to hear from you. So let's get into the benediction.
All right.
Right? Ready? All right. Dear God, bless Sebastien and Claushelle. Bless the listeners. May they be at peace, find joy, and always seek you first. Thank you for this opportunity once again to glorify you. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
Amen. Have a blessed week, you guys. Until next time.
And we out of here.